I promised the last time you were here we were going to talk about yoga.
Yes.
And we didn't get to it.
No, we didn't.
And that's such a big, big bummer because you are an amazing person who does yoga, and you have seen a transformation happen as you begin to use this with your kiddos that you see on a regular basis. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many applications to yoga, and more people are doing it. And I think that especially with our kids, some of the first kids that I started doing yoga in their treatment plans, we were working on just physical coordination. Maybe they were struggling with their posture or being able to coordinate multiple movements or motor planning, and started seeing that some of these children were actually developing better body awareness. I have an example of a client that I worked with where he actually slumped over quite a bit whenever he was talking to people. Part of it was because of his motor strength, his core strength. And then the other issue, too, was just confidence. And so we implemented yoga into his program once a day. So he would just do like 6 to 12 different movements that we taught the therapist how to do. And within the course of a month, he was standing up taller. And he was also just much better aware of his body. So he was able to be around people. He would much more easily without falling into them. I think it largely had to do with the movements that he was doing. Just he developed more body awareness. And if you've ever tried to do a new exercise as an adult, you know, many times until we get used to practicing and developing that memory and that repetition, it's cumbersome, and we don't even necessarily know where our body is too. So again, the practice has really helped a lot of kids do that for sure.
And I'm wondering, because I'm hearing this and I'm saying, okay, I need to do this with Jem. I need to do this with him. But two things, as I'm uncoordinated. So do I need to take him to a class, or do I need to get a video? What would you recommend for us?
Lots of different options for kids. I think that there's a lot of really good things on the internet as far as YouTube video clips, yoga videos of kids, even looking at sites with different poses.
Okay.
And honestly, you don't have to be flexible, because that's a misconception about yoga. Regardless of your age, your physical abilities, etc., many things can be adapted.
Okay.
So, and it can be as simple as you start with one pose.
And so we could do this ourselves at home without having a yoga master there. We could give it a whirl and see. And I'm wondering what it does for focus. Because the first thing that I always thought about with yoga is, well, you know, he doesn't have enough focus to do that. But if I'm not working on it, how are we going to ever get to the focus? Does it help kids to stand still and be focused in that way?
Absolutely, yes, definitely. Okay. Because one of the other things that we really focus on in yoga is breath. And you need to breathe all the time. We so unconsciously do it all the time, and that's why we're alive. But when you suddenly take something that's so involuntary and then start really focusing your mind on it and just focusing your attention to it, I believe that has really helped a lot of children develop better awareness with what's right in front of them.
And that's got to help with anxiety issues as well.
Absolutely. I mean, if you think, too, about some of the coping strategies that we use ourselves, and then we try to teach our kids, where use deep breathing. And, you know, again, going back to breathing. I know for myself that when I'm finding that I'm having a hard time focusing on something, one of the first things that I do is concentrate on my breathing and become more conscious of my breathing and think about breathing. You know, something, again, that's so involuntary that we just automatically do, and same for the kids, too. So you can start off at any level for any amount of time, too. Think that, you know, again, small incremental steps rather than, I'm going to do an hour every day. Well, rather than that, if you're just starting, just work on breathing for 10 breaths even. And anyone can do anything for 10 breaths.
So we don't have to be able to do a headstand?
No, you don't have to be able to do a headstand, and you don't have to be able to do a handstand.